northern Minnesota, but we're kind of in a field right now. So I've never gone live with my channel, so I'm going to try that. I have two channels on YouTube. I have this one, Sweet Tooth Sarah, and I have a Wildly Fun Life. A Wildly Fun Life is more my lifestyle brand with all the dogs and things like that. But Sweet Tooth Sarah is all food related, and I am taking questions tonight to kind of see if anybody has any questions on. Oh, and of course, there's a big four-wheeler coming down the road. That always happens when I'm trying to go live. All these people. But anyway, so what questions do you have for me today? So for you, those of you that are joining me, I am out for a walk with my lab, Sammy. But then there's a big four-wheeler coming down the road, so we're off to the side, just kind of waiting. We live in northern Minnesota. Anyway, okay, so. Oh, well, that's very nice that you love my channel. I'm happy to hear that. So, any questions that anybody has? So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I live in northern Minnesota. We live on a kind of a hobby farm, you could say, about 53 acres. We have two black labs, and my two black labs have their own channel called A Wildly Fun Life, and they kind of star and debut over there. So I started my channel because when my kids left for college, I have two adult children. One is in school for her master's degree for school psychology, and the other one is in school to be an elementary teacher. When they left for college, my youngest, I had terrible empty nest syndrome. Like terrible, like my whole, well, I do work full-time still. I'm trying to do my food channel full-time when my husband retires. Okay, that's a whole nother story. My husband's 11 years older than I am. And we have this age gap, and I would really, really like to leave my job when he retires. I work in finance and accounting, and it's extremely not all that exciting. And so I've always loved to bake. So when my kids had this incredible bond with me, and when they left for college, I had really, really bad empty nest syndrome. So I needed something to do to fill my time. And I used to do 3 full meals a day for my kids. So I did a full hot breakfast, full lunches, packed their lunches, and full big dinners. My husband grew up on a dairy farm, and he's a meat and potatoes guy. And so I grew up on more like in the country, kind of like where we do too. And so empty nest hit me extremely hard. So if those of you that have younger kids, enjoy all the time that you have. So my kids kept asking me for recipes because they both have their own apartments now. And they live out of state. So I have one in North Dakota, and I have one that is going to be doing her internship in school psychology and probably going out of state. So she's looking at Virginia and I think Florida, which I hope she takes Florida because then I can go visit her there. But so they kept asking me for recipes. I jump around a lot here. And I really just liked taking pictures of them and sending them to them. So I thought, I'm just going to start doing a few videos. And I thought, well, I'll just start posting them on Instagram. This is about 2 years ago. And then with the Instagram, I decided, I'm going to put them on YouTube because I think YouTube is a little bit easier to monetize on. However, I had really good growth when I did a 61 series episode of Mrs. Sarah Claus recipes for the holidays. And then after that, in January, my growth absolutely completely stopped. And so I'm trying to do a little bit of different things, redesign my website, which I'm really just not very good at anything graphically designed. So I'm actually looking to do a little bit of an investment in that this year and let someone else kind of take over my website because I'm just so bad at it. But now we're going, so anyway, back to my story of my kids kept wanting to know about recipes. And so I decided, well, I'm going to start filming them. And then I had a lot of people that really enjoyed the recipes. They are not the fast paced where you're clicking through the screens really fast. I actually measure the ingredients, and I'm just like you, or just like my mom standing in her kitchen making recipes for her family. So nothing is like super fast paced, so I'm not trendy like a lot of the, if any of you are interested, I'm walking my black lab. This is Sammy. She's 5. So anyway, back to my plan. I had lost where I was at. For those of you that are watching, you can remind me where I was at, trying to watch for people coming down the road too. So we, like I said, live in northern Minnesota. There is not a lot of industry up here. We live kind of in between a couple of large Indian reservations, or natives, I should call them. So we live in lake country, so we have lakes pretty much all over. We do not live on a lake. We live out in the country. Around here, a lot of our lakes are covered with very expensive houses that people from California and the southern states own. And so the people that actually live here can't afford to live on the lake. And so we live out in the country. We have deer, bear. We don't have any moose where we're at. Turkeys, raccoons. Actually just saw a raccoon right before I got on live here. Actually, that would have been fun for you to see a masked bandit crossing the road. So anyway, back to my cooking website. So after I do about 4 recipes a week, and I've kind of switched to doing where I'm doing half recipes because now it's just my husband and I, and we just literally cannot eat all of the food. I donate a lot of that's one question that somebody was gonna ask me, what do you do with all the extra food? Well, I take it to work. My coworkers love all the sweet treats. I send some with my husband. He works with all men and they love some of the treats. And then I also donate it to a lot of our neighbors, kind of up and down our road. We've got a lot of elderly neighbors. A lot of them cook though, so they probably don't want all the sweets. You know, we're kind of in that old era where a lot of our neighbors are in their 80s and they make the best apple pies and the best food. I should probably film some of them cooking because they're so good. But so this week you should check out my cheesy chicken and wild rice soup that I made on Sunday, and that you just dump it all in a crock pot. It is so incredibly good to do that. And then tonight you can watch me. I don't think I'll go live. I might, we'll see. But I have some English cucumbers that I got from a farmer's market. So I'm going to make cucumbers and cream, or cucumbers in like a mayonnaise vinegar sauce. They are so good for kind of the September time. And then tomorrow I am making a cherry coffee cake. And that is going to go to the neighbors when I am done with that cherry coffee cake. So I'll get both of those recipes posted. Another one that I have coming that I made Saturday are barbecue meatballs. That kind of feeds a crowd. I had one of my kids was here for the weekend, and so the recipe takes 3 pounds of hamburger, and that is just a lot of hamburger for 3 people. And so I've ate barbecue meatballs for 3 days in a row. But these are an amazing recipe, actually from the 1960s. They were my husband's mom's, and we're turning around. We got all the woods behind us. We have to turn around here because there's, well, you can kind of see it down that way, but Okay, so then the barbecue meatballs, that recipe I am going to get posted. If anybody has any questions, let me know on the bottom. Oh, somebody says extra ketchup. Oh, that's the cutest name I've ever seen. Extra ketchup. So I struggle. I'm going to be on here for another 10 minutes while I walk to the end of this road. Then I have to get across the highway, and I don't like to be on the phone while I'm crossing the highway. But, so I'm struggling with my name. Most of you that follow me pretty regularly know this. And so I chose Sweet Tooth Sarah a long time ago. I have a little bit of a copyright issue with Broma, is it Bruma or Broma Bakery? She has a book called Sweet Tooth Sarah. And so I was leery that I was maybe going to have, she has a cookbook, it's a cookbook, leery, but she hasn't reached out to me, and I had the domain name registered before she even published the book. And so I think I'm okay, but sometimes you just never know with those copyright and the internet, and I'm kind of by the book type of a person. So that's one of the reasons I was thinking of changing it. The other reason is I don't just do sweets. So I do a lot of grilled food, a lot of casseroles, pastas, other things that aren't, always such a baking type thing. So that was part of one of my reasons, but I'm so established with my website and all the Google links and video links that are in there that it's extremely hard to change. And I didn't want my current users to be completely confused on, kind of where she went. If you're just joining me, I'm going to show you the sunset, and we're surrounded by corn right now. It's going to be coming out, and then I've got our puppy Sammy. You want to say hi? She's probably hot. I don't know how she can be hot. It's only like 55 degrees out here. But we are surrounded by corn. You can kind of see that. That will be coming out in a couple of weeks. So it's extremely humid because of all the corn sweat that's giving off for any of you people that are farmers out there. So back to my name. Sweet Tooth Sarah. I wanted to know what you guys thought of that. That was one of the questions I had for my live audience. Is that something that you think I should keep, or should I go with something more like what's Sarah cooking, or Sarah's kitchen, or something a little bit more exciting like that? Oh, we're getting turned around. Come on, Sammy. So anyway, one question for my audience. So if you want to leave a comment for me, either in the show notes down here or on the actual video when it posts, when it's done being live, that would be great. So I can kind of get an idea of what your thoughts are on that. I just love to involve my community because you guys are the ones that provide me the 2 or 3 cents a day that I make off of my YouTube videos. It's pretty bad. It was pretty good at Christmas time, but definitely not a full-time income for me. So my day job is still going. I would love to be done, but I'm too responsible to not have health care. So we'll keep on baking for you, making you food, things like that. Other question, what other types of food are you interested in? I do not do a lot of pasta. I had someone email me one time and said, why don't you do any pasta recipes? Well, you know what? I don't. This is an interesting fact about me. I do not like potatoes, and I do not like pasta. So I can eat a little bit of pasta, but I just don't love the taste of pasta. And I do make potato recipes for my family, but I don't like potatoes. That is I don't like the texture of them or the taste or anything like that. So, okay, what questions do you have for me? Okay, I'll hold my arm up a little higher. I can do that. So, what questions do you have? I kind of sound a little muffled because I do have Invisalign, 48 years old, and I have to fix my teeth. So all you youngins out there, I'm not really that old, but all of you people that take care of your teeth when you're younger. You know, when I was growing up, braces were an absolute luxury. Like, you never had braces unless you had like a really big mess in your mouth. And so I apparently needed to have braces, but didn't have them. And now that I'm older, I'm struggling with problems. So I got Invisalign 15 weeks ago. So I'm starting to finally be able to talk with them. Oh, the mosquitoes are getting me now. Okay, any questions out there? Oh, one person is in a different language, and I have no idea what you're asking me. Okay, you can ask. I don't know if you can translate that. I don't even know what language that is. I'm sorry. So anyway, back to Sweet Tooth Sarah. So you can find me, my website, sweettoothsarah.com. I have Instagram, but I have Sweet Tooth, but then it's _Sarah. And I have the TikTok, which TikTok at 48 is hard to learn, but I'm getting a little bit better on TikTok. So I do have TikTok, also Sweet Tooth Sarah, and LTK. So LTK is my platform that I post the items that I use in my kitchen or for my recipes, or like I'll have aprons and different fun things like that. LTK, follow me on there. That is just really interesting. I am not, I gotta switch arms because my arm's falling asleep. I am absolutely the least fashion conscious person you will probably ever find. And my daughters think it's funny that I have an LTK account because I am like a thrifter. I like to go to like the clothes mentors and the Plato's Closets and find the really nice clothes that only cost, I don't know, less than half the price. My hair's, hold on, I've got mosquitoes coming after me, so I gotta put my hair down in the back. Okay. Anyway, so my kids think it's funny that I actually have an LTK, but I encourage you to check that out because I do link a lot of the products that I use, and I also link all my dog stuff. So if you are just getting on here and you are not aware, I have two dogs that are semi-famous. So I have Old Granny, who's 10, and Sam Dog, who's 5. And they are famous for fishing, believe it or not. So they have had sponsorships and different types of fun things that they have got to do because they actually know how to fish. And we spend a lot of time on the lake. So that is over at, I have a different account called A Wildly Fun Life. That's all my lifestyle stuff. I was told I had to niche down, and so I have 2 websites. I have one for my personal Amazon type reviews, and then I have this one for all of the food and things like that. So it's kind of fun. Okay, I am getting to the highway, and it's getting dark. So I am going to have to get off of the live. So is there anybody that has a question before I sign off? No? But you can definitely, and there's a car coming too. You can definitely ask me any questions in the show notes. I'll check them before I go to bed. And then keep an eye out. I might go live when I make the English cucumbers in the mayonnaise vinegar type sauce tonight. And then I'll get that posted tomorrow. But I might go live for that. But I'll have to wait till my husband's in bed because he makes all kinds of noise. So he usually goes to bed about 8:30. So I might hop back on live. But okay, I'm at the stop sign and there's a big truck. So I better go. Bye-bye.